Let me in your room. Good morning. Ay. I'm telling you, man. Don't worry about missing my lives, y'all. I'm gonna have to do them super early right now. At least if I want to do any cards and coffee. I'm not sure how many I'm gonna be able to do this week. My son broke his school computer, so while I'm getting that fixed, I am going to have to give up mine again. And it never ends. I went and once again made the stupid mistake of asking their father to help me pay for fixing this computer since, it's December and everything else, and my bills are twice as high as his because I got 2 children to take care of that nobody pays child support for. So I figured maybe he could help me out with the fee to getting that computer fixed. And it's not my problem. I just missed a week of work from a pneumonia. And I apparently pull this shit every year. I'm always asking him for something around Christmas time. Every year, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm always asking for help. Like, I planned on going to the hospital last year. Like, I planned on his son breaking a computer this year. Like, I planned this out. But it's any time he don't feel like going, figuring out how to help, he just goes, it's not my problem if he doesn't have it right on hand. He don't try to figure nothing out. He does nothing out of sight, out of mind. He don't got to worry about it. And it's like, and that's what I talk about. I'm like, the energies were even, but they're not now. I don't know what's going on with him. But as always, I shall figure it out. I've survived the last 6 years with his wishy-washy fucking help. I don't know. Our kid's school has it's a charter school and it's a private school, so it doesn't have free busing to get the kids on the bus to save my car. So I don't have to worry about the car problems, not being able to get them to school sometimes. I was thinking of putting them on the bus, and I was like, but the bus fee is $50 a week. It's $25 per kid. And I just talked to him a couple weeks ago about it, and he was like, oh, I'll cover that. I'm like, yet you haven't had to pay any of that yet. But when I ask you for help to fix your son's school computer, literally the text he sent back was, it's not my job to fix it. It's my job to fix everything. And some people will always do those cycles. Even if you break the cycle in your response, I mean, that will bring you more peace. Like, I didn't get into the big fight with him last year. I ended up, the only way I got him to stop messaging me was to start posting the messages that he was sending me openly on Facebook. Of the way he was talking to me in messages. And this was right after I got out of the hospital. But he was doing it to me last year too. Right around Christmas time. Like, it's just a level of zero fucks given by some people. It's amazing. What I find most amazing too is his wife. She pays child support. She doesn't have her kids. And her kid stays with her mother, and she pays her child support every week without fail, has for years. I thought she was going to be a good influence on him, but apparently not. Don't think I got it perfect, y'all. Don't think I got it perfect. For sure I don't. And I don't know how to pick them, so, well, hopefully that's changed. Good morning. Just rambling as I get the cards out. No big spiritual message this morning other than some cycles never end because some people will never release them. And that it can't be a burden that you carry. You just got to kind of recognize it for what it is. And just, if you ever say something like, if you have to say something along the lines to someone of, you do this to me every year, stop for a moment and take some self-accountability on that part right there, right? You do this to me every year. So you acknowledging that there's a cycle of it every year, you have to acknowledge how you play into that cycle. So in the case that I was just talking about, I do this to him every year. I ask for help and he can't help, so he gets mad at me. This happens every year. And it's like, so every year around Christmas time, something happens to you where you find yourself in a bad spot, but you get mad at me because it's like you don't acknowledge it until someone asks for help and a responsibility that you should be helping with. And the same thing here. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's like, it's not the same thing every year here. It's just things happen. Kid broke a computer, man. He's not just my kid. I didn't make him all by myself. Didn't make him all by myself. Didn't program him all by myself either. He's a big kid. 13 years old. It was an accident, but still. What do we got? There's some really mixed energies going on here. I feel like on the 3D level that a lot of people have just hit a major revelation. Because it's like 9 of Cups, right? 8 of Rods, Joker, 10 of Cups. And then you get the 7 over here. I almost feel like it's like almost like a false sign. Like, it's 9 of Cups, movement, swift movement. You have the Joker here with some games and the 10 of Cups. So it's the appearance of a lot of joy, right? A lot of joy, a lot of fast movement. But right here at the end, there's some sort of secret. Let's see what the 4D line has to say about this secret. I think it just means, a lot of people do that. A lot of people portray that they're much happier than they are. I mean, that's kind of what social media is for. Everybody wants to share the highlight reel. Nobody wants to share the bad stuff. That's why I'm not afraid to come in here and tell you guys, dude, shit happens to me too, man. Don't feel alone in the world because these people come on here as these big gurus and their lives look perfect to you. And you're just like, why can't I make my life perfect? Guarantee, calm down, take a step back. These people have more people in their lives than what you're realizing. They do go through stuff too. So, they may have figured some things out and be in a better position than you are right now, but don't take that as, whatever they're portraying as being truth right off the bat. And the same thing for you. On the 40, we got the 5 of Swords. So the 5 of Swords I kind of look at it as like, it's the end of the battle, the end of the conflict. See, she's like, in this Too Perfect, right? He's laying here, oh, 10 of swordsy, right? With all the swords poked around him. He's not actually stabbed by anything, but he's laying there all dramatic. And she's just like, I'm just going to go ahead and collect these swords and call it a day. You know, what? The war's not over because it's only the 5. It's only the midway point. But, you know, the battle's over. I see Ace of Swords being really clear and focused on where your thoughts and your minds and your words and where your directions you want to go in. You feel the wheel of fortune pulling you. There is a major rebirth coming. And you got the Prince of Cups here at the end, right? That brings in the Prince of Cups comes in with, you know, and this isn't not necessarily a person that comes into your life, right? The Prince of Cups is within yourself. It's finding the romance and beauty within the world yourself too, because it's the 40 line also. So it's being open to messages of love from the universe. So I feel like a lot of you guys have really overcome dealing with drama queens and drama kings, right? Especially, I just find it funny just because it just happens to be in this deck. It's kind of like the Divine Masculine is like all like, oh, on the ground, and the Divine Feminine's like, really? All right. We were just sparring. For some people, that could even be like an ego issue. Your ego's really wounded right now, and your intuition's telling you, get up. The 5D line, saying that there's a lot of passion coming in. Rejuggling, defending what you have built, needing to call a truce, right? A truce needs to be called within the 5D level. So this isn't even something that you might not have to deal with in person, but it's definitely on an energetic level. Like anything that's inhibiting you from this transformation card here and knocking you off balance. Because when you get put into that defensive mode, it's really easy to, yeah, especially on energy level. If you feel like you're being attacked energetically, you can get defensive, and it's real easy to go from defensive to fearful. So you don't want to do that. The 2 of Swords, I usually see it as like a duel or a draw. Whoever's energy you've been battling with, call a truce with it. Because you even got the 6 of Cauldrons here at the end. It's like you don't have to engage with it anymore. See, she's kind of like, you know. But you don't have to engage with it anymore, but you do need to realize you don't need to be afraid of it. Fear is how it attacks, right? That's how it gets in. That's what people are like, curses can't affect me. People who are like that, the reason they know curses can't affect them is because you're not afraid of these other people. And if you're not afraid of other people's energies, their energy has no way of seeping in. I feel like a lot of people feel like they can't truly be who they are right now. I got hiding your true self and fated to suffer. And on the shadow aspects here, and it's almost like I'm tired of having to hide who I am all the time, right? With these 2 cards together, that's how I feel. It's like, yeah, you feel like you're having to hide divine aspects of yourself right now. And in doing that, it is causing you to suffer, and you feel like that's part of your fate, like you're fated to suffer, like you have to finish these timelines the way they're lined up. That is not how it works. You're not fated to suffer. Suffering really is a choice. You know, it's attachment. Suffering comes from attachment. Attachments of thinking of, it's not so much being attached to a person or thing. When the Buddha said attachment is the source of all suffering, it's attachment to expectations, right? It's not that you're not upset because they left. You're upset because they turned out not to be the person you thought they were, right? Or someone turned out not to be who they said they were, right? And I think with you hiding your true self, the reason that you would attract that kind of energy is they ended up not being who they were because you're hiding aspects of yourself. So you're not being who you're supposed to be either. This is supposed to be a big wake-up call for you. All right? This is a big wake-up call for everybody. Like I said, these morning messages are for the collective energies going on. And it's just calling you to take some stillness. Take some time to sit and actually process these energies. Good morning. Just take some time to really sit and, process where you're hiding parts of yourself and process, what exactly is causing you to suffer. Like I said, a lot of the suffering isn't anything about actually losing things or people or things like that. The attachment that causes the most suffering is the expectations of how you thought things were supposed to be, right? You thought they were supposed to be this certain way, and you thought it was going to go this certain way, and you had a grand vision, and you were trying to manifest it a certain way. And that's why I always tell you guys in visualizations to change it up all the time. Leave lots of doorways of opportunity open, and it also keeps you from attaching to a certain timeline so you don't get locked in. And then when it doesn't work out the way you think it's going to, you don't end up being all upset later. Always leave it areas to evolve into different directions whenever you're manifesting towards anyone's particular point. Like if you're trying to manifest success, you have to be willing to, allow things to fail sometimes, right? Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes, whatever it is. The first set of these guys I made didn't come out right the second set. The first set came out really good. The second set came out all tacky, and we couldn't figure out why. We had to figure out how to fix that problem. Allow that kind of trial and error to get you guys growing, get you guys working on different things, and allow yourself to evolve. All right, y'all. I got a long day. I had a long night. I love y'all, and I'll be back as soon as I can. I'm going to try to get on, hard to be on super early in the morning. That's what I was saying at the beginning. My son broke his computer, so these are the only times I got. But I love y'all. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and windy paths with me. Please, as always, click my buttons. Let me know that you guys enjoy these. Love you. I'll talk to you tomorrow.